Hello everybody. It is finally time to, well, not really unbox this, at least not on camera, because this is still under embargo. But unbox this! My new 500 series rack and show you all which one I've chosen. And while I'm unpacking this, I want to talk a little bit about mental health, as I said in the title. So mental health has always been a very fascinating subject for me. I've had my fair share of struggles with my mental health, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have struggles with my mental health in the future. And the reason why I'm talking about it right now is because I just came back from my therapist. And to be clear, I don't have any issues at the moment. A few years ago I had therapy about my childhood, about when I was bullied. Apparently I still had a lot of stuff going on under my skin from back then. And I just want to say to everybody that that really helped me, and I want you all to know that if you are struggling, that therapy could help. The reason why I'm still going to a therapist these days is basically because I also go to the dentist. So I see my mental health in the same way as I'm seeing my dental health. Mental health, dental health. And why I'm currently doing it and what it really helps me with currently is basically it helps me a lot with my job, which most of all is the YouTube job. Because being a YouTube creator and having this job really makes you very vulnerable. Also because, you know, both the audio side and the video side of my business is a very creative job, which requires you to be pretty open and listen to comments and feedback. And honestly, you know, I have to be open to feedback and comments, but at the same time, the YouTube comments can be the worst. And honestly, there are a lot of awesome people on YouTube and a lot of awesome comments. But for some weird reason, negative comments and bullshit comments sometimes can really get under somebody's skin. And whenever you're typing a comment, just keep that in mind, that it's very easy to type a comment, but that it can have great effects to the people reading it. And like, it can really have an extreme effect, and I'm saying that from experience. I've experienced a lot of this stuff, and for me, getting negative comments on YouTube has really become a way to measure my own mental stability. So it's also, there is some positivity to it, or at least I've turned it into something positive. But the issue really is when things start to misalign. So I've always tried to make the best decisions for my business and for what I'm doing on YouTube. And a lot of these decisions don't happen like overnight. Like a lot of these decisions, for instance, using affiliate links, they come from thinking really deeply for a long time, discussing it with other people. Like these decisions are very difficult to make, but the way that I'm thinking about these things is that I always have the best intentions for my viewers. And I have to balance this with, of course, sustainability of the channel. So these are two difficult things. However, I oftentimes see my best intentions being destroyed by people that simply make assumptions. They think that they know who I am and they think they know how I think, which is based maybe on how generally the world works and generally people think, how people are, how YouTubers are, whatever. The difficult thing is that instead of them starting a discussion, they just attack me personally. So instead of just like, hey, this looks weird, can you explain this? They're just like, you suck and you're doing this because of this. Somebody said to me, like one of those comments was like, you are just saying that tape plugin sucks because you have a real tape machine and you don't want that investment to lose value. And I was like, huh? No, I didn't invest in the tape machine to make money with it. I invested in the tape machine because I love old equipment. With those type of comments, I'm really confused. I'm like, wait a second, that's definitely not how I think. But people project it onto me as if I think in that way. Like with the tape machine, I bought it because of passion. And I would love it if everybody would get access to that sound. Literally, that's what I would love it to be. The investment wasn't that big. I bought it for scrap pricing, or a bit more than scrap pricing. The value for me wouldn't go down if a plugin could do it better than the tape machine itself or whatever. Absolutely not. I would love that to be the fact. That's kind of my mission. That's why I'm sometimes so negative about plugins, because I want them to be better. But people just make other assumptions, and that's just, you know, very annoying. And for me, balancing on like, okay, what is feedback? What is something that I can really work with and can really improve myself with, and what is just plain old bullshit? Sometimes very difficult to determine, and sometimes those things really get under my skin, and things get really, really difficult, and really, it's not easy. And where I want to go with this is that I've realized that I cannot change commenters or viewers or the world. I cannot change that. But what I can change is how I'm responding to it. I can change my internal me. I can work on my mind. And a lot of these things I'm doing myself, but sometimes I need help. And that's when I'm going to a therapist to really figure out myself more. And I think this is going to be an ongoing process until I die. And I just want to say to everybody, like, hey, if you're struggling, really, there are great people that can really help you out and can really make a difference. Don't be afraid of it. And yeah, there's a lot to say about it. And what I think I want to do for this vlog is basically show a lot of small things that I do throughout my week, throughout my work, to keep myself mentally healthy. And I'm not saying that I'm good at it, because I have my own fair share of mental breakdowns every once in a while. That's probably not really, you know, I want to focus this channel about audio, but I think there is a bit of a connection with mental health within audio and music, where it's just important to be mindful and creative. Does that make sense? Anyway, the rack that I chose to buy is whatever. The R10 box. No, that's not. Important safety instructions. Rule number 1, read these instructions. The rule number 2, keep these instructions. And the rack that I chose is this rack. The Neve R10 500 series rack. So it's the Neve rack. The reason why I bought it is because it was about the only high quality rack that I could find that was actually in stock. That's the reason. I'm not being sponsored by Neve. I paid retail for this, so literally the price in the shops, no discounts whatsoever. One of the benefits of this rack is that it has an internal power supply, so you don't have any external crap. On the other hand, that could create some magnetic radiation, but I think they thought about that. I hope so. I better hope so. So that's the rack, and one of the cool things that I found to be on this rack, I mean, how much can we talk about a rack? Both the input and output are lockable XLRs. Like a lot of these racks, they don't have these little things on there, so it's not locked. And when it's hanging in the desk and your feet are touching the cables or something, you can just easily yank out a connector, which is just the stupidest thing ever. This one has locked one, so that's really cool. So let's put it in the desk, and as you can see behind me, the desk is pretty full, so something has to go. I really cannot show them yet to you all, and that is mainly because this vlog goes out a lot earlier to members, and I've signed an NDA about these things, that there can't be any public information about them until the release date. However, the release date is going to be really close to this vlog. It's all a bit weird, but believe me, it makes sense if you understand the filming dates, early access dates, that kind of stuff. So whenever things are under cloths, that means that at the moment of filming, it's not okay to show it to the people yet. I just noticed that the power button is actually broken. But I'm not going to send it back because of a broken power button. That's too much hassle, and I'm never going to use that power button because it will either be turned on or the power supply to the unit will be cut off. So no. Anyway, got a lot of work to do. I need to stop playing and do work. was doing my planning and I realized that I do not have a video for this week. So I have a lot of videos coming up. Some of them are simply not done yet, and I cannot really finish them within this week. And the other ones are under embargo, like they have a certain date at which they can be released. So I do have that video of the FreakTube unboxing, but I don't think that's enough. Like, it's a bit of a weird video. So I'm going to film a bunch of videos today. They're all going to be plugin reviews. One of them is going to be a plugin that is also under embargo. I mean, I need to film it anyway, so why not do it straight away? And another one is going to be for this Saturday's release. We have the new plugin from Process Audio, the Comp 2 from Rockruple Comp 2. Modern tube compressor, look at this. I've actually been made aware of the plugin through the developers. Not sure if it was a bit earlier. I think they actually gave me access a bit earlier. The problem is just that I need access like 2 or 3 weeks at least. One of the things that is very good for my mental health is not constantly having to be in a rush and not constantly having to chase the next scoop. It's so interesting because mental health has so many little things to it. And one of the things that I deem to be very important is staying out of stress and kind of be mindful about what your brain is going to work on and what not. So I would say my brain is a resource and I don't want to spend it on the wrong things. And when doing things in a rush, it seems that I'm using that resource like 2 or 3 times more. So I'm doing those things less and less. I also don't think that the content is the best. Whenever I have time to think about it, I can make better content. So weird situations. And I have the same thing with audio projects actually. I don't like those I need a mastering done within this same evening type of projects. Like if you're looking for such a project, don't come to me. Because I don't like to rush. I don't like to stress. I would actually love it for nobody to be that stressed. And I don't think that I can deliver the most and the best quality that. So I filmed 2 of those plugins I filmed the video for. One of them still under embargo, the other one is going to be the video for this Saturday. Like filming a video costs a lot of energy, both mentally and also physically. Like I'm super hungry right now, I don't know what it is. And I want to spend that energy wisely. I'm now going to edit what I've shot and editing. The rest of the day will basically be video editing. And taking lunch. Yeah, of course, lunch. One of the requests I sometimes get is if I can deliver a job within a very tight deadline. And usually my answer is no, because it's not good for my mental health to be stressed all the time. It's also the reason why I don't have a 24-hour service or something on my website. However, one of my clients actually reached out to me asking me if I could do an advanced stem mastering. So it's going to be stem mastering together with vocal effects, and he's also sending the kick and snare separately within a time span of about 1.5 weeks. And I looked at my schedule and I was like, yes, that's possible. But if my schedule was more busy, if I had other projects going on, probably wasn't possible. Oh, and I'm going to have to... I also have a chat open with Shopify because they started billing me more because I tried out a feature and I cannot cancel it or whatever. But I think they'll fix it. Anyway, all right, the stems for that job just came in. Quickly talked to the producer. It is for the regional song contest. So every region in the Netherlands are competing for a song contest. Anyway, it's not really important for me to know how those things work and how the rules around it works. The only thing that I need to know are things that matter for my engineering work. I think the thing that matters here is loudness. Because chances are big with these contests that these tracks are being played back within an environment where loudness normalization isn't integrated. This can be on websites where they would vote. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it can also be just on a laptop where they have a playlist with just the raw WAV files, MP3 files, whatever. If you're in a playlist at -14 lufs while other people are at -10 or -9, human psychology will make it that the -14 track is not that good. That's just how it is. So I'm going to create a -10, -9 master for this one. Yeah, but first I have to do some mixing. So let's first do that. So that song is done. All the other work is done. We're actually one day ahead now. I'm still tweaking the format of this vlog a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should I show the different days? Or should I just tie it all together as if it's like one big day or something? Let me know what you prefer. And another thought I have is that instead of doing a weekly vlog, doing this as shorter separate stories, because I'm telling a lot of stuff in a vlog and I noticed it's a bit difficult to title. And they tend to get very long, and if I separate them in like 2 or 3 parts per week, it could be easier, but it will also be more work to create and to all the management hassle and stuff. Leave a comment down below. What I'm going to do now is a video work, and I'll be standing by for that song that I've mixed, because I think they want to have it done by tomorrow. So if they come up with any comments or something, I'm ready to go. I actually have the settings of the master chain dialed in, so that it's like super easy to open up the session. The video that I want to work on is the oversampling video, which is going to involve a lot of brain power, because these are subjects that I am starting to understand right now, but these are like very heavy subjects, and the video parts I need to shoot is basically the parts in which I explain things more. So I'm first going to run through the footage and just write down all the things I want to add and creating ideas and that kind of stuff. So let's switch systems and write some things down with my new Apple Pencil, because I destroyed the old one. Look, it's I don't know if you can see it. It's kaput. Let's throw this one away. Right, I think I have a pretty good overview of the holes that I want to fill in that video, but I am running a bit out of time today. I also had a pretty long call, by the way, so that took up a lot of my time, and I'm now going to need to do a correction on the mix that on the mix that I need to finish pretty quickly. It's quite funny that this week started with mental health and making sure that everything, and that the week is ending with complete mess and stress. But I think that's part of the job, and learning how to deal with that is basically an ongoing process. I'm going to correct this, and then I have to leave earlier as well because I have another appointment. It's this is going to be the thumbnail, I think. So the mix I did just got approved by the client. I'm really happy about that. I've also sent it to a colleague, and she actually had one comment about the vocal. I talked this through with the client, and the client actually agreed, so I made one more mix. Client is really happy about it, and it could be that they're going to request one more tweak today, but that's all okay, because I've already finished all the other jobs that were on here, and I'm now going to continue with my oversampling video. Feeling really good today, so I hope that I can point that energy towards the camera. Yeah, the oversampling video is just very complicated, and I think I'm just going to chop away on it as if it's like a big rock that needs to be split into sand, and I'm just, you know, hammering on it until it's sand, like just small pieces at a time, because otherwise, like, it's the subject of oversampling is just so extensive, and the more I learn about it, the more I learn that I don't know anything. And even the video that I'm making, it is a deep dive. Like, we're diving really deep into the subject. But I'm realizing at the end, and also after reading the paper from the guy that I'm interviewing, that we still are just scratching the surface on this subject. It's amazing how these things can get and how much a lot of things matter. Like, one of the things we don't talk about is ringing, which is a whole different subject. So, yeah. And that's it for this week. I'm done. And I'm actually really happy. Like, I do have a sense of fulfillment because I finished the track that needed to be finished before today, or actually on today. Just sent out the masters, so that's really cool. Finished the oversampling video. Also finished, I don't even remember what I started this week with. So I'm really happy, but also really tired. Really going to take care of myself now. Going to have a very calm weekend. And one of the things that I didn't include yet in the video, a thing that I do for mental health, is taking walks. Like, walking for me is kind of exercising. And I think we should never forget that our mind is actually part of a body that needs to move every now and then. So I'm thinking of taking a bit of a longer walk home, because I'm usually walking towards studios. That's already, like, I'm including it in my routine. But I think I'm taking a little bit of a longer walk home to really process everything from this week and then relax during the weekend. I don't know yet what I have planned for next week, but I do know that this box will need to be opened. So we're going to look at what is in this box next week.